Hey guys, welcome to the One United podcast. Today we have a special guest, Tarun Apple Icky from New York, and also we are joined by Ekus Singh and myself, Dinete Thomas.
What's up, Dinette?
Hi guys.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that all you guys are super excited after United beat City 2-0 yesterday. So I just want to have your thoughts on that game. What do you guys think? What the result means for us? Tarun, I'll go with you first since you're the special one.
Special one. Speaking of, I missed him yesterday because I feel like he has a real connection with Bruno now. But about yesterday specifically, I think we did really well. I didn't expect it, to be honest. I was expecting a draw if we were lucky. But with City's defense being the way it is right now, I think we were able to get to him really easily. And with them starting Otamendi, that was like a shoe in. You know, it reminded me when they had Michelis and we played at the Etihad. It's a good result for us. I'm quite stoked.
Ekus, what do you think?
I think it was a big surprise. I think on our last podcast, I did mention City and Spurs are the two fixtures which are going to define the Premier League. But I wasn't expecting. I was expecting like 2 or 4 points at max. But now we have a chance to get six, which is a big surprise. And with the games we have lost in the first half of the season, I think we deserve this because the games against Watford, those we should have won, but we ended up losing, and I think it makes up for it. So now we need to capture Spurs at their home, where they do have a very bad record.
I think that's really
I,
interesting because if you actually go by what I mean, going from by what Ikas just said, right? Um,
Mhm.
I would love to see a table where it shows the results against the teams on the bottom six versus teams about the top six, basically. I didn't mean bottom six, I meant top six. Teams only playing
Mhm.
each other in the top six and teams playing under the top six. And I'm sure we'll be in the top of that table, which is really
Yeah,
interesting and
I,
crazy.
I
Uh,
just checked. I just
I,
checked
I,
that
I,
stat. We have 19 out of 24 points, and we still have to play Leicester and Spurs. So
Which
we
is
are,
mhm.
I
brilliant.
think, we're second in that table.
I
I
mean,
think
look at
so.
that. So that tells you all you need to know, huh? I mean,
Yep.
about where we are, how
Yeah.
we're doing. Your podcast over?
Agree. Yeah. No, I mean, Akers touched point on it. So we are 5 points off Leicester on third, and we have Leicester away. I think the last game of the season. If you are to beat Tottenham, and let's say with the Leicester City's form being quite awful in the last few weeks, I think we can actually aim for top three rather than top four. What do you guys think? Is like can we finish right behind City, or is it, or will you be content with just finishing in the top four or just overtaking Chelsea
I think
for the
Leicester
Europa?
plays Aston Villa today, so that's going to be a crucial game because they have one game in hand, and that's why we're 5 points behind them. But I feel um, we shouldn't get carried away. It could be next week we would be losing to Mourinho, and it could be all over again. But I feel that we should be positive, and we we with the form the Leicester and Chelsea teams are in, I think we can definitely get top three, but let's not get carried away.
I, I
Tarun?
think we've done really well to be where we are right now. I think this is more than Solskjaer didn't have to do this. With what he's taken and with the team he's had, uh, being in the position that we're in right now to even talk about top three is amazing. I think there was a point in the season when Dinette and me were arguing about how we were closer to relegation and we were going to get relegated. It was a joke. Uh, and now we're talking about top three. I don't think top three is realistic, honestly, because the squads we're competing with at Chelsea, at Tottenham, well, not Tottenham so much anymore, but at Chelsea and Leicester, they deserve to be top three, above us in terms of if you only look at the squad. But right now, if we get in the top four, it doesn't matter. Top four and maybe a final Europa League or FA Cup. I think that's a good season with what we have. That is.
That's good. Good point that you mentioned. I would like to segue into our manager Ole Gunnar with that. So I know Tarun, you have been quite supportive of him from the start, and what do you have to say for the fans who are not that optimistic about Ole, including me? I've been 50-50 with Ole throughout the season. Akers wanted Pochettino by March 1st, so
Nate,
it's
hold on,
March
hold on.
8th.
I think you're more 50-50 with United. I think you're half 50 Spurs, 50 United, to be honest.
I mean, I'm more about getting good. I mean, I really wanted Pochettino at United, and again, like this it could change by next month. So like Ekus said, I'm not getting that carried away, but obviously there's an improvement in the defense. There's improvement in attack with just bringing in just one player. But yeah, like again, like mentioned, it's against the smaller teams that we are dropping points, which is a big concern because Louis Van Gaal used to always get good results against the big teams, but eventually used to draw with Southampton, Stoke, Sunderland, West Brom, all these teams, and eventually he got sacked even after winning an FA Cup. So there are progress being shown in the team. Okay, Akers, what do you think about Ole Gunnar now? Are you still Poch? Do you still want Poch in the summer?
Well, I don't know how to describe this, but it's a case of missing out on the best if we keep Ole. But Ole can be the best as well because after you see the tactics against Pep, for example, I was blown away with his masterclass. So I don't really know how Poch would be different from Ole at this point because Ole, I think he beat Poch also. I'm not too sure on that, but uh,
He beat 1-0.
I yeah, I don't want to miss out on Poch, but at the same time, Ole is doing really well. So let's just decide that in May.
I can't believe that there's a doubt over Ole's future at this point. I can't believe either of you are still considering Poch. When it came to it last season, before Ole was given the job, there was a clash between Spurs and United. It was being touted as who winner of this game gets the job. Ole won that fair and square. This season, Ole
Uh,
played Poch with a worse squad. There was Harry Kane, there was Eriksen. Poch had this much better, much stronger squad, much more experienced squad. Ole had no Pogba, just had a Rashford with a bunch of injuries, and still delivered and beat Poch. It's shown against the smaller teams. It depends on individual brilliance to make a difference. Against the big teams, you just that's where tactics come into play, and Ole's proven it. In the big games, he's always come across as
but again, like I mentioned, like it's not just about a big game. This should be about should take it like a whole. We should consider the whole season, and there are a lot of points that we dropped against teams we should be beating. Even the 1-1 against Everton, I know it's down to an individual error by De Gea, but we should have gotten 2 points in there. We should have gotten
hey,
points against Burnley
uh,
at home.
I got a call. We should do this question again
Okay, all right.
because unless you can keep going right now, which is fine.
I mean, I think we're pretty much. I mean, I know that you are Ole in, and I just want to get Ekus'
Not as
opinion
simple
on.
as because yeah, I can't believe you guys are still considering Poch because I mean the guy, what has he won? What is his pedigree when it comes to playing big teams? What he
But
has
that's
had
the thing.
for 6 years. What has he done with that squad? Do you see how the players in our team are improving? Do you see how many purchases Ole has made, and all of them are great. Name one purchase he's made who has failed. Tell me.
I mean, we can't say it's just only been one season.
Yeah, but from the one season, you have four players, and they all done really well.
Yeah, again, I mean, if you go back even under Louis Van Gaal, Damian was a good signing in the beginning, and then what happened to him?
What is
So,
the
I
big?
mean, again,
We're in March right. We're in March right now. What beginning are we talking about here? This has been more than a beginning. It's March. Darmian was good for like till we played Arsenal, which was in September, August, and then that was it.
But I still say that we need to, in terms of the signings, in order to be considered as a successful or not, I would give like a season or two before we even consider like.
Yeah, but then can we didn't extend the same time to Louis. We didn't give him a season.
Exactly. Yeah, but you reckon that
Season he was out.
yeah, exactly. But if you reckon that Louis Van Gaal had stayed, considering that he also had good results against the Big Six, he kind of nurtured young players, and he nurtured a lot of young players. And I remember players like Donald Lowe, so many random players. What was it, Tyler Blackett? He just gave debuts to so many people. Not all of them turned out. I mean, at that season they were quite good, but overall, if you look at them now, Varela, who also came with Rashford, most of them didn't show up. So
Actually, Varela was signed by
oh
Sir
yeah, Van.
Alex.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think.
so I need you to know that. The
Yeah.
second thing, we're not talking about Van Gaal, we're talking about Ole. So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to Ole, he's delivered when it comes to signings. He's delivered when it comes to tactics and formation, and he's delivered when it comes to man management.
Um, man
And
management.
his
I would
philosophy
say
seems
man
to be working.
management. For transfers, I still have to. I would give a season or two before we even make like a solid, like whether to know whether that's been a hit or miss. Because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Van Bissaka turns out to be an awful fullback by mid next season, or
What does that mean? What do
Maguire
you mean
has a
by
disaster.
what does awful mean for you exactly?
Say what?
What does an awful fullback mean?
I would Rojo as left back. That's an awful fullback.
Rowe is a centre back. He was just being used to fill that role.
He
You
used to
know,
be a left back. He was a center. He was converted to a center back.
can you honestly say at this point that Wan Bissaka is going to become like Rowe? Come on.
I can't say this point, but I mean I wouldn't be surprised if his performance
Why
drops.
wouldn't you be surprised? Why would you
Yeah, I
be?
wouldn't be because
Do you
we
think
had
he's that bad?
no, because we have had instances where players have shown such great positivity when they join,
Like,
and then after like few months, they just become absolutely
yeah,
like trash.
like who?
And
Like
vice
who?
versa also. By the way, vice versa also. Like there have been players who we signed who started off really bad and then became a better player as time
Tell
progressed.
me
So
in the former case. Like, tell me someone who's gone backwards extremely.
I can think of Schneiderlin. He was the main center mid for us along
See
with
though,
Carrick, Bastian. It took him
but
like 3-4 months and then he became like he just disappeared. That
well,
was one.
he had an
Memphis Depay
injury.
had quite a decent start and when he came on. I remember him getting us into Champions League, scoring 2 goals. So we all hyped him to be the best number 7 we got. Angel Di Maria is another one who was killing it in the first few months, kind of like Bruno. And we all know what happened to him all of a sudden. So yeah,
I see how all your examples are pulled out only from the Van Gaal era. You know,
yeah, I mean,
it's about
yeah,
5 years ago now.
I would even say, okay, I would say Eric Bailly from Mourinho's era. He was a solid center back, but then injuries happened, and then I mean, right now he's trying to prove himself, but he has gone down the pecking order. Otherwise, why would we have Harry Maguire and or Lindelof and we signed
Like
these two center
he's
backs
had
to
season,
replace
he's had
him?
season-threatening injuries, right? I mean, why else?
Yeah.
Since he's been back, he's had man of the match performances every time.
I wouldn't say man of the match performances,
But
but yeah,
he's one of the
no, that's what I'm
contenders
saying.
for
He has
sure.
been improving. Yeah, he's improving now, but then again, like he went down. Like, so it's not like all our signings have like kicked off to become really good. I'm just saying that we shouldn't judge a player within like 3-4 months. Like I would like
The point about the signings were because the coach sanctioned these signings, right?
uh-huh,
And they all have turned out because we're having this conversation today on March 9th, right?
uh-huh.
We
Yeah.
can we can only go by what we know right now. We can't go by what may or may not
Exactly.
happen.
No, exactly. But for you to say that if Ole has signed great players, we need to give it like a year or two before we actually like rate them like that was a successful signing rather than like, oh great,
Months of
Bruno had
research
first month he
is
won
doing.
player of the month, so he's been the best signing ever. Like we can't say that. Like you need to have a consistent player who performs every season rather than just
Forms consistently every season for any team. There are very few like Messi, Ronaldo, maybe Dybala to
huh?
some extent.
Kevin De Bruyne. Salah has been having 3 good seasons, so that's a good signing. Mane has been a good signing. Those are like good signings.
My word, I love that we got here right now because these are a handful of red herring examples. These are not the majority of football players. Have you seen? And the teams
Yeah,
which you're talking about,
perfect. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
the teams who you're talking about have had consistent managers. Okay, every team which we pulled out right
you,
now have had some sort of consistency. We've been shambles on the top at the top. Woodward, his clowns, Matt
yeah,
Judd.
another
We've had
whole
different
discussion.
managers
But
every season, and none of the managers have been backed properly. Okay, so
okay,
for us to say ask demand consistency from players who we're just signing, and these are B grade players. These are not like your tier one players who Real Madrid would sign.
no, but that's the thing. Either there's an element of making yourselves world class players and making them perform. right? Like, okay, I get it. So like even if you look at even players like Jesse Lingard, who was killing it like under Mourinho's second season, now and that time we all claimed him to be like the key playmaker role, and now no one wants him even in the squad. So
He was never a key playmaker role. He was the first name on the sheet when it came to a big game. Under Mourinho, he went through one purple patch where he was scoring more than he did, but he was always going to be a squad player who comes in for certain games like
see,
Arsenal, like
you
Chelsea.
wouldn't, okay, so you wouldn't know that. So even if you're looking at players like Jack Grealish or Madison, you'd make the same case that then they might not perform like that, like how they're performing this season, next season, or even with us. So it all depends on consistency, and like in order for a signing to be like successful, you need to look at them in a 2 or 3 years, at least 2 years, to know that that's
Yeah,
been a
we
success or not.
fire managers every season. So
Yeah, no, no,
I
yeah.
mean, so it doesn't make sense to judge a player over 3 years, but then judge the manager over a
Uh,
year.
Aguero had probably 3, 4 managers at City. He's done well. Eden
Let's,
Hazard did well
let's talk about
with most of his managers.
let's talk about what's happening right now. Tanguy and Ndombele, okay? He
Okay.
was one of the players of the year in France. All right.
Mm-hmm.
He comes
Okay.
over, Poch signs him. Just about, he starts about 6 games, I believe, or something
Uh-huh.
like that. And then
Uh-huh.
out of those 6 games, he's really inconsistent with poor performances. Poch, before leaving, says, to see the best of Ndombele, we'll have to wait 2 or 3 years. And then
Okay.
he faces a big time out on the sidelines. And then Mourinho plays him. He just this past weekend, Mourinho
Mm-hmm.
says this guy needs to improve. He's not
Mm-hmm.
delivering what he's meant to deliver. So
Yeah.
I mean, as the manager changes, the player changes, and their role changes. So if if you want to judge Wan Bissaka in 2 years, for example, if you bring
Okay.
in Poch, Poch doesn't like Wan Bissaka,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
then is it fair on Wan Bissaka?
yeah, but then there must be some reason why Pochettino wouldn't want Van Bissaka in the starting 11, right?
Not his player. Like Mourinho had a mandate against all of Van Gaal's signings and wanted to get them all out. He got Blind out. He got
He was very
Schneiderlin out.
faithful. He was very faithful with Fellaini. He stuck with Herrera, and they
Fellaini was
both
not a
were
Van Gaal
consistent.
signing. Fellaini was a Moyes signing.
Yeah, regardless. So why? So
I'm
yeah,
saying not
then
regardless. I'm saying
you're right. So
manager.
then Mourinho probably didn't like Van Gaal signing. He liked David Moyes' signing. So that means Moyes did a good job with.
David Moyes is signing. I mean, he had Mata and Fellaini.
Yeah, and he stuck. Yeah, so probably Van Gaal signings are trash, which is probably why we
Would
didn't perform well during Van Gaal's
trash?
era.
Do you think
There's
Daly
a
was trash?
who?
Do you think Daily Blind was trash? Do you think
He was quite awful for United. He did well in Ajax, but he was quite awful at United.
No way.
He no,
He helped us win an FA Cup. You're talking shit because if you look
I
at
He
mean,
played well sometimes at centre back.
he bossed Lukaku, he bossed centre backs, centre forwards who were way bigger than. We would have to spend all that money on Victor Lindelof now if the whole Mourinho era wasn't there, and we would need a ball playing centre back. Who's better than Daily Blind at that?
but
Now
nah.
he's interested in him. Leicester's interested in him. Arsenal's interested in him.
Yeah, Arsenal is like a 10th place Premier League team. Leicester City has Johnny Evans, who just left United. So we just signed someone from Leicester City for 80 million.
Rid of Johnny
So
Evans. It was Jose Mourinho.
what? Johnny Evans left way before Mourinho.
Oh no.
Yeah, Evans didn't play for Louis van Gaal, dude.
He was here. He was there for a season of Van Gaal, and then he got injured, I believe.
No, he left after we won the 13th title. He left before he left before Moyes even, actually. Now that I recall, yeah.
Check this. Johnny Evans, Wikipedia. I don't know if I can trust that, but okay, he's 32 now, so.
Yeah, he left long before Mourinho. Don't blame Mourinho for Evans.
Hold on. There you go. It's 2015.
Yeah, so that's Van Gaal.
2015 was.
Van Gaal. We won the FA Cup in 2016, bro.
So that was Van Gaal's last season, but he was there for a season of Van Gaal, though.
Yeah, 2015, yeah. But he didn't play him as well, so he was trash against. Like Van Gaal didn't see him as a good player. Shipped him off to West Brom, I believe, or Leicester, and yeah, now he's doing decent because probably the manager over there Brendan Rodgers sees him as a quality prospect.
Yeah, I'm just going through to see what exactly happened, because I do see that he had an ankle surgery which kept him out till for most of a season.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's one of those. But I mean, we get stuck into this from nowhere. But I'm just trying to say it's not fair on Ole to say that his signings were bad. Can you say they were bad right now?
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that we need to wait for a while to evaluate. I didn't say any of his signings were bad. I'm just saying give it a year or two, then we can actually evaluate a player. I didn't even mention that any of his signings were bad. I just didn't say that if I
Should
can't
you
to term it
expect
as a
him
good
to
signing,
say that?
you need to give it some time. You can't just say like, oh, one
Yeah,
month, yeah, Bruno's
if you
the best player.
yes,
It would
you
be
said
like
it
Di
yourself.
Maria all over
If
again.
you want to give 2 3 years, you want to give 2 or 3 years to judge his signing. Shouldn't you give the same 2 or 3 years to the manager who signed them?
Yeah, okay, yeah, agreed. Yeah, I'm not saying like if things are going the way it is right now, obviously, yeah, I wouldn't change it. But if
No
it's not gonna go like if you're
conversation.
going to if you're going to lose against Spurs, lose at home to Sheffield, draw a couple of draws till the end of the season, then again it's this whole debate about whether he's good enough or he's just good enough when it comes to big games, just like Van Gaal. Again, you gotta give it
The
time.
same. It's an apple and orange, man. You can't compare these two fruits because one of them is different. One of them is playing. Look at the squad Ole's had. Let's not go there because it's not
Okay.
the same thing.
No, but
It's
yeah,
not a
no,
fair.
you said the squad. You just mentioned the squad, but he just signed 5 players, right?
Who are the
Five,
five?
James, Van Bissaka, Maguire, Igalo, and
Are you
Bruno.
gonna
So
take
that's pretty much
Igalo
half a team.
James' real signing? Wow. Would you
No, I
start
mean
with first choice
he
signings
could
for
have gone. He
United?
could have tried another striker. Cavani was
Who?
available. A few others were available.
Kidding me. Cavani has been languishing on the bench at time PSG. We're not gonna
Okay.
take someone else. Are we gonna take a striker who's not good enough for Paris?
Yeah, and so we took someone from China. All right. Okay.
But it's not about like Di Maria, like your earlier example, Di Maria. Instead of having someone who's just a good name on paper, but someone who doesn't actually want to be here, you'd rather have someone who's a fan of United who will give his best for United. You see
Yeah.
Gallo
Okay.
winning the goal yesterday.
Yeah. No. No. I rate Ugalo. I support him 100%. But again, like you just mentioned, like you just asked me that what do you think Igalo was a signing? So I'm like, yeah,
Hey,
it
that
is a signing.
was the first choice signing. Do you think that's the striker we really wanted? What about Erling Haaland? That's who Ole really wanted. And Ole
And
has a
and
good eye for this. He gave Haaland his debut in Molde,
and yet he
right?
chose to go to Dortmund over being
Because
with his old manager.
because of want to deal with that guy. You
True,
think he
I
chose
know.
it because of?
I
Come
mean, I
on,
don't
man.
know. I mean, again, like you just mentioned, Igalo's showing that he
Yes, where
wants
are
to
you
be
at?
here. So Eric Haaland doesn't want to be in United regardless of the circumstances. So again, he's not the player, according to you, who should be playing for United.
No, no, he doesn't not want to be in United. It was reported by multiple sources that uh, Haaland's father and his agent, our
Yeah.
favorite agent, wanted a cut. I'm forgetting his name, passes me. Raiola wanted a cut of all future sales, and I don't blame United for not doing business with. We have to set a
True.
precedent.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, I agree. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Real Madrid or something, and that guy gets a big pay cut through that. I mean, yeah, that's his sneaky tactics. But yeah,
So do you want to be involved with Sneaky? What I'm trying to say is Igalo was definitely not anyone's first choice. It's something
okay.
we got in deadline day. We had even Joshua King was an option.
Uh,
A Bournemouth striker who's just done really well consistently for a team like Bournemouth.
he
But
was our youth
he want to
player.
pay
He was our
30
youth
million
player.
bucks. Yeah, he
He was
was
a
a
youth
youth player and he left. And
Fergie.
now he's proved himself outside, like other youth players who proved themselves outside. You want to go through that list?
Multiple, apart from Januza, which is disappointing.
Well, some would say he would play a squad position. He'd play a squad role.
The way he came into the scene was quite similar
But
to
we have
Rashford.
we just signed James on the right wing, and
Mm,
he's not someone we were like, oh, we knew everything about. Bruno's
true.
the arguably Bruno and Harry Maguire were the only two signings who were like ready-made starters, and Wan Bissaka has
Yeah,
taken time to adapt, but he's coming really good, and
yeah, yeah.
he's
He's
showed
good.
old.
I'm not mentioning that he's bad. I'm not criticizing that he's bad or anything. I'm just saying that
You
in order
said
to be a successful signing, yeah, we need to give it a time. For so
you,
far,
you just
all of
said
them
Ole
have been
signed
great.
half a team, is what you said.
Say what? What?
You just said Ole signed half a team, which is not the case because
Okay,
Igalo.
yeah, fine. I take Igalo off. So yeah.
you think Daniel James is a starter? He's not signed to start. He's signed
Still,
to come
but
to make an impact.
agreed. But still, he should. I mean, yeah, he did bad. He played more than enough, but still, it's his signing, and
Let's just go into that. Why did he play more than enough? Because we don't have anybody else. We need a Jaden Sancho. You know?
true. Let's wait for that. Okay, speaking of transfers, I just want to move on. So, do you
Yeah.
think the whole bounce that we had is it through just one player in Bruno, or is it a collective effort, or is it that Bruno is that special of a player in order to have make a impact on the other 10 players around the pitch? Ekus, you want to answer it? Or I don't
Sorry, what
think.
was the question?
Do you think do you think Bruno has made such a significant impact that it has affected the other 10 players on the pitch? Or is it just that there's something else, whether it's like Ole changing the whole system to incorporate Bruno and the others? Is it down to Bruno more or Ole more?
I think that make a signing in the stature of Bruno because people have seen his stats in the last 2 seasons. He's had over 70 goals and assists. I think it has affected all of the players' mentality, and the players who are playing better. But Fred was playing good from the start of November. So if you keep Fred out, he has affected the other 9 players, and I think um, if you make a quality signing, it's gonna affect any team. So I think people are inspired, and
Mm-hmm.
it's our benefit that he's come because it's they've also been following his departure from Sporting for about one season, like almost a year that we've wanted Bruno and we didn't get it, and they knew that how desperate we are for a player like him, and they're probably trying to replicate how he plays to make an effect. But I certainly feel if you get anyone in the stature of Bruno or Cruz, it's gonna affect the whole team. So um, it's, I'm really happy with him how he's playing, and I if we could get Pogba and Bruno in one midfield, I think we're as far like as Barcelona with Arthur and Busquets.
Oh, okay.
I have few
Tarun, do
things
you
for
think that
that.
Tarun, do you
No, I
think
don't agree with Ekus's last point.
yeah,
I
I
think
don't agree
Barca
with
is
it. I don't agree with
But
but
no,
Tarun,
what
do you
is the
think if
if you
Barca is
see
pretty. Barca has
if you
been
see
the shittiest it's
Busquets,
been for a long time right now. Okay, no one, and this is coming from Barca fans themselves. They're having one of the shittiest seasons. They're really not happy. So I don't think we should want to be like Barca anyway to begin with. They've had much stronger midfields. I mean,
agree.
last 2009, 2008. Ask Sir Alex. You know. But
Tarun,
anyway,
Tarun, do you
Pogba is
think
a.
if
I only one of the few things I agree with Mourinho about is that Pogba is a virus. Okay. I
yeah.
mean, he was scapegoated a lot. Okay, let's be honest. He was one of he was our best player that season, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the entourage, all that circus around him, is extremely distracting to the whole squad. And I don't think there's place for Bruno and Pogba on the same team
I
because
agree
they
with
both
Tarun.
operate in the same role, right?
I
I think
agree with
why
Tarun.
Bruno's helped so much is that he's a leader. We don't have any of those at United right now, and he kind of fills that void which Fred and McTominay can't perform.
I agree with Tarun. I don't think he should be rushed into the first 11 because it's really hard to remove Fred from the team because he's worked his socks off, and so is Bruno as well. And the third spot, considering like McTominay is nearing his full fitness, it'll be hard to replace a center defensive midfielder like him and keeping Pogba in there because we need a center defensive mid. I know we've been relying on Matic, who's also stepped up his game. But yeah, I think like it's gonna be a bit harder for Pogba to get into the starting 11. Rashford could probably make it into the first three, but I probably wouldn't see Pogba play until like April, couple of games before he's off into summer. But my question to Tarun is that do you think if we had Bruno from the start of the summer or start of the season, would we have not dropped points against the teams that we dropped points against, like the West Hams, the Evertons, Burnleys, Bournemouths? Do you think we would
Yeah,
have
you,
picked up points?
yeah, you got to believe that because if you look at the incisive passing, I mean, we played Watford. That was one of the few lowly ranked teams we played recently. And if you saw how Bruno was picking out the passes, I mean, except for Pogba, there was no one else in our squad to do that kind of thing.
Mm,
Andreas has tried. I mean, Lingard has tried, but they're just not good enough. I
hmm.
mean, for one thing, Lingard, every time he comes on the ball, it's like he's trying to prove himself. So he's not in
Yeah,
a good mental space for that anyway to begin with, and
true.
there's nobody else to make that pass. And you see how well Mata has come good when he has someone like Bruno to collaborate with.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, all of our other players who look like average are looking much better.
All
So I
right.
think you have to believe that Bruno would have done this, would have made a difference if he was there from the beginning.
All right. So moving on to our last point of the day, it's the preview for the Europa League game. I kind of forgot who we are playing against. I just know it's an
Last, you go
Australian
last,
league champions or something.
right?
So what would be your starting 11? I mean, just you can just give a brief, like, what would you change from the 11 that played against AT?
I'll
Obviously,
let,
Romero would start.
I'll let Ekus go first.
Ekus,
Okay,
you
I
wanna?
would I would get Chong in the starting lineup as he just signed a extension.
Yeah.
Then I would get Angel Gomez in just to try him out because otherwise he's going for free.
Mhm.
Then I would start with um, Mason Greenwood, and I would get Garner in this midfield with.
I just want to remind you that they have actually knocked off like two really good teams in Europa League, and they're not like a League Two opposition. Just saying that because I think like your team would probably fit for like a FA Cup third round game. I think you're
No, but
taking this way too
I
lightly.
I would still go with them because what was the first leg score?
No, we haven't played first leg yet.
First leg?
What?
Is this the first leg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then for sure. Then I'm gonna play this lineup with. I would go with an experience of Matic, and maybe if Pogba is fit, why doesn't he start here?
I have no idea where he is.
Wow,
He's probably
I
in
can't
Dubai.
agree less with this anybody else.
Yeah.
Is that
And
your
he put
squad,
a
man?
story with Manchester is red. So I'd really, if he's fit, I'd
Oh,
play him in that game.
thanks, Pogba. Thanks for
Oh,
saying Manchester
damn.
is red.
So did I.
Thanks
I
for
should
being a
also
little
start this
bitch
game.
for the whole season, and now saying Manchester is red.
Guys, we need to stop hating on players and we need to start backing them.
You should start with Pereira first.
How about players who
Pereira,
want to be
no,
at
at
United to
first
begin
I
with?
would send Pereira and Lingard to Congo. I'll
Why
book their
Congo?
flights right now. I would
Why the
just send
Congo?
them there.
Why Congo?
Okay, okay, fine, Zimbabwe. I would just send them
Why Zimbabwe? What's bad? What's wrong
Yeah.
with
because
Zimbabwe?
they're apparently getting rid of their airport, so they can't come back. That's why.
Oh my god. Tarun, what would you change from Ekus' first 11?
Everything. For one thing, Matic. I mean, let's look. I want to win the Spurs game, okay?
Agreed.
And now Nemanja Matic just started this game,
Yeah, I don't
this
think he'll
past
start.
weekend. He needs a break because
Hmm.
he needs to take revenge on his ex-manager, okay?
Oh
So
yeah.
he needs to start against Spurs. Now Matic definitely needs a rest. I believe Fred needs a rest too, okay?
Hmm.
So I think Jimmy Garner definitely slot him in. I think Angel Gomez should fuck off because he hasn't signed his contract. He's being a little bitch. He wants close to 100,000 per a week in his wages. That's why he hasn't signed his new contract. And I mean, what has he done to prove that he needs that? And honestly, Tahith Young,
Exactly.
I mean, so he reminds me of a long-haired Gabby Obertan.
He reminds
He's
me of
just done.
Ravel Morrison, kind
Ravel
of.
Morrison was class.
But I
Is
mean, in
that you
terms of
being
his
racist,
attitude,
or is
in terms
that
of his attitude towards United, where he
what
held
way?
United as ransom.
Oh, I can't speak of Ravel Morrison because I know he was a really good player. He was a key member of the FA Youth Cup winning squad along with
Hmm.
Pogba. But I think that Hee Chong is so overrated. He can just run, and he can never make that. His decision making is
Hmm.
like Pereira. He can never make the right pass. He shoots at the wrong times. He
Hmm.
just runs and then he falls. Angel Gomez. I mean, I think he's great. I just think he should just sign the contract and improve himself because the only reason he hasn't started this whole season is because he hasn't signed his contract. And Tahith Chong has now signed his contract and has been patient on the bench. I think that's why he's getting started. So I'm going to start, to go back to your question, I'm going to start Eric Bailly. I think Igalo, Greenwood, Bailly, Romero definitely. And then maybe Brandon Williams, because I think he has better recovery than Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Needs a break, I guess. He'll have to deal with the Bergwijn, I guess, in the weekend. I don't know how to say his name. What's that guy's name? Dennis Bergwijn? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'll give Shaw a rest. Play Williams, Bailly, and who's our centre? I think Axel's close to starting. He was on
I
the
think he
bench.
was on the bench against City, so I think he'll also start.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you so far. And Dalot as right back.
Who's the right? Yeah, Delo, exactly. And then in the center of the park, I think Scotty McT.
Yeah.
And then we have Jimmy Garner, but I don't think he will. But I would like that. Well, who else Who else can we start there? I think Danny James. He played the whole game. He probably needs a break.
He probably would not play.
Tahith Chong, I would agree with. I think he might actually start as a reward for signing his contract. As an example to other youth players. Who would play the wing though? I can't imagine who's going to.
I would say Chong, Greenwood, and Igalo as front three.
So who's your center? Three then?
I would go for McTominay, Pereira, and maybe Lingard.
Oh, Pereira! Wow, yeah. They've been so on the periphery. I even forgot their names. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Like, I know they have been offered, but I think they'll play this Europa League game. Like,
honestly,
Ole might give them a chance. Like, you know what Bruno can do. You should. Try.
Some youth players on the bench. I like to see. Maybe Ramazani, Ethan Laird.
Yeah.
Today I saw the under-18s player Zidane Iqbal. So, he's a British Pakistan player. He pulled off a great skill move against Sunderland away, and he scored a goal as well. I think you should check him out. Anyway, I'll start. I want to see them on the bench and come on.
I would say the bench should be really strong. I would have like the likes of Martial, Fred, Bruno in the bench because I feel like this game might be really difficult for us considering that they have literally knocked off like some good opponents in the Europa League so far. So I wouldn't take this lightly. I feel like our first leg would be probably like a 1 goal or 2 goal, or maybe even a score draw for us. But we might get through. Yeah, we might be good, and we'll probably get through from both the legs. But yeah, I wouldn't take this lightly in order for like to play a lot of youngsters. It should be like a bit of mixture between experienced and youngsters. But also we should keep an eye on the Spurs game on Sunday.
I believe Foster Mensah started.
I saw him with Rashford on his Instagram.
Sorry, I got a call. Sorry. I believe Foster Mensah started first team training. So I'd like to see him.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. All right. So that's the squad. What about predictions? Score predictions.
I would go with the score draw. Ekus?
I would go for a 3-0.
Wow.
Oh, that would be great. I don't know. I think 2-1 or any kind of lead, any kind of points any kind of like a number on our scoreboard would be great.
All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thank you guys for joining in. Tarun, thank you for your first appearance at this podcast.
Probably be my last by how much we talked. Great. Anyway,
all
it's
right.
Nice. All right. I'll talk soon.
All right. Talk soon.
I think Ekus is already gone. So yeah.
Ekus has want to book tickets for Pereira and Lingard. All right. Bye.
Later.